Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Nsah Mala. Today, I'm going to bring another episode of YouTube English with Nsah Mala. And the focus of today's video is going to be 3 pairs of words that are often confused among users in their day-to-day usage of English, whether online or offline. These pairs of words are damage versus damages, while versus why, soul versus soul. So this is going to be the focus of our discussion for today. So once more, you are highly welcome to my channel. As you can already see on my screen, which I'm sharing with you, the focus of today is going to be damage versus damages, while versus why, and then soul versus soul. Here we go. Damage versus damages. Damage is a noun and it means harm or injury. It means harm or injury. For example, you say floods have caused heavy damage in the far north region of Cameroon. Floods have caused heavy damage in the far north region of Cameroon. Recent discoveries about corruption have caused serious damage to the company's reputation. So if we take the first example, even if the flood has caused damage to 20 million people and each person has a different form of damage, all of that put together is damage and not damages. So do not, as a journalist or whoever making a report, say that there has been or they have been heavy damages caused by the floods in the far north. No, damages means a completely different thing, and we are going to see that in the rest of this video. So please, no matter how many people are affected by a flood, by a disaster, do not call it damages. It is damage. The destruction will be described as damage. And now on to the verb. The verb is to damage, and it means to harm or spoil. So it means to harm or spoil something, okay? Just a minute, let me put damage in the other example in color before we continue. Okay, good. So the verb to damage means to harm or to spoil something. For example, many villages have been badly damaged during the war. Many villages have been badly damaged during the war, badly harmed, badly destroyed. Number 2, smoking is likely to damage your health permanently. Smoking is likely to damage your health permanently, to harm your health. Next, damages. Damages is a noun, and it means money that is paid to someone by a person or an organization who was responsible for causing some injury or loss. So again, it means money that is paid as a fine, as a sanction, okay, as a legal sanction by someone, by an organization to somebody to whom they have caused some injury or some damage or some cost or some loss. So we call that damages. Damages is money paid to someone by a person or an organization who was responsible for causing some injury or loss. Examples: the High Court has ordered him to pay 1 million francs in damages to the company for stealing the company's private data. The High Court has ordered him to pay 1 million francs in damages to the company for stealing the company's private data. Number two, they were awarded $500,000 in damages. They were awarded 500,000 US dollars in damages. This is the only time you can use damages, damage with an S. Or maybe otherwise you can use damages if you are conjugating the verb to damage in the third person singular, where you say maybe it damages your brain. Alcohol damages your brain as a verb, but as a noun, when there is destruction, harm caused to something, as in the case of a flood or an earthquake, you talk about damage. You only talk about damages when it is a financial compensation or fine imposed by someone to pay to another person or an organization, or imposed even on an organization to pay to another one if they have caused some injury or loss to that one in question. While versus why. This is the third pair of words we want to discuss today. While as a conjunction means during that, the time that, or at the same time as. I read Andolo the Talented Albino while you were drying your hair. It means that at the same time that you were drying your hair, I was reading Andolo the Talented Albino. While I was in Bamenda, I went to see Neba. So I saw Neba during the time or at the same time that I was in Bamenda. While you are in Marua, can you get me some Bili Bili? Bili Bili is a local drink made in the northern regions of Cameroon or by people from there. So while you were in Marua, can you get me some Bili Bili? So during the time that you are in Marua, at the same time that you are in Marua, can you get me some Bili Bili? While as a conjunction also means despite the fact that, or although. So if I say, while I accept that he's not perfect in many respects, I do actually like the man. It means that although I accept his imperfections, I still like him. Okay, although despite the fact that I accept that he is not perfect in many respects, I do actually like the man. While I fully understand your point of view, I also have some sympathy for Michael's. While I fully understand your point of view, I also have some sympathy for Michael's. Although I fully understand your point of view, I also partly share in that of Michael's. While again, as a conjunction, would mean compared with the fact that, and in this case, it means but. So if we say he gets 500,000 franc a year while I get a meager 100,000, it means he gets 500,000 franc a year but I get a meager 100,000 francs. 2, Ambonga is very extrovert and confident while Lum is shy and quiet. Ambonga is very extrovert, outspoken and confident, while Lum is shy and quiet, meaning but Lum is shy and quiet. Perhaps they're twins, perhaps they're sisters, perhaps they're friends. 3, I do all the housework while he just does the dishes now and again. I do all the housework while he just does the dishes now and again, so from time to time. So in these cases, the use of while means but. Then now we have while as a noun, and it means a length of time. So we can talk about, for example, Mvogo only had to wait a short while. He only had to wait a short while. So not for a long period of time. Or we say it was a while before any waiter took their order. It was a while, it took some time before any waiter took their order. And now, while is often confused with why. A few people I see confuse the use of while, as we have just discussed above, with why. why, not while. And in the case of why, it is an adverb and it means for what reason. So if I say, why did you choose to live in Douala? It means, for what reason did you choose to live in Douala? Why wait? Let's leave now. For what reason should we wait? Let's leave now. Okay. He never helps me. Why should I help him? He never helps me. Why should I help him? For what reason should I help him? Why do you spend a lot of money in December? For what reason? Can you give me the reason? So a question of why, a question asked with why usually requires an answer that gives a reason, that gives a justification for something. And then in some cases too, why can be used as an exclamation to express surprise or anger. And in these kind of circumstances, the punctuation changes. First, notice the introduction of a comma after the why, and then the sentence that follows, or the independent clause that follows. Okay, and then it ends with an exclamation sign. For example, why? If it isn't old Georgie Fraser, why? Why if it is not him? Why? I've never seen anything like it. Why? I've never seen anything like this. So I'm hungry. I'm not happy about this thing that I've seen. Okay, so take note of the comma after why and take note of the exclamation mark at the end. And now we come to the third pair of words we will be discussing today, and this is soul versus soul. And they are pronounced the same but written differently. One is S-O-L-E, the other is S-O-U-L, soul. S-O-L-E is an adjective, and as an adjective, it will mean being one only, or single, or lone, and it is used before a noun. For example, my sole objective is to make the information more widely available, meaning my only objective, my lone objective, my single objective. The sole survivor of the accident was found in the water after 6 hours, meaning the only survivor, the lone survivor, the single survivor. The sole survivor of the accident was found in the water after 6 hours. Sole, also as an adjective, could mean not shared with anyone else, especially in terms of responsibility. And here we are talking about this kind of examples. She has sole responsibility for the project, so she doesn't share that responsibility with anyone else, okay? She has absolute responsibility. She has sole responsibility for the project. Or two, I have sole charge of both children all day. So during the day, I have total charge, complete charge, absolute charge over both children, which is not shared with anyone. I have sole charge of both children all day. Okay. Now we have soul as a noun, still S-O-L-E. As a noun, it would mean the bottom part of the foot that touches the ground when you stand or walk, or the bottom part of a shoe that touches the ground, usually not including the heel. Example, there is a cut on the sole of her foot. It means there is a wound, okay? There is a wound from something like, caused by something like a machete, a cutlass, for example, on the sole of her foot. I need shoes with rubber soles. I need shoes with rubber soles. Sole as a noun, and this time around we're talking about soul, S-O-U-L, means the spiritual part of a person that some people believe continues to exist in some form after their body has died. This is especially within religions like Christianity and Islam, where it is believed that when the body dies, the soul or the spiritual form of the person continues to live in the hereafter. Or soul can also mean the part of a person that is not physical and experiences deep feelings and emotions. Because I'm making this clarification because sometimes I see people interchange these two words, S-O-L-E and S-O-U-L in sentences. And sometimes it can be a typo, but sometimes it can actually be a mistake, a serious mistake, and it will be important to correct it as we're doing now. So some examples. She's one of those people who puts their heart and soul into their job. So it means they don't only put their physical body and strength into their job, but their soul, their innermost, their spiritual part, okay? The priest said he was endangering his immortal soul by sinning, for example. The priest said he was endangering his immortal soul, the soul that never dies, according to Christianity, that will go either to hell or to heaven. Some people think the soul, unlike the body, is incorruptible. Some people think the soul, unlike the body, is incorruptible. And finally, soul, still S-O-U-L, can mean the quality of a person or work of art that shows or produces deep, good feelings. If you can't enjoy this music, you've got no soul. It means you've not got no soul to connect with the music. If you can't enjoy this music, you've got no soul. Or for me, her paintings somehow lack soul. It means that maybe her paintings lack some kind of depth, some kind of deep ability to connect with people's inner beings. Soul as a noun could also mean a person, and actually a person as in the physical, not the spiritual part of a person. It could mean a person of a stated type. For example, she is a happy little soul, and you're talking about somebody who is present, maybe a little girl, okay? She's a happy little soul. Or you could say some poor soul had fallen 500 meters to their death, meaning some unfortunate person had fallen 500 meters to their death. Some poor soul had fallen 500 meters to their death. Soul, again, as a noun, meaning a person, could mean not a soul. If you say not a soul, you mean no one, no person, no body, no human. So for example, you could say, by the time I arrived, there wasn't a soul there, okay? Or, yeah, I take this example again. By the time I arrived, there wasn't a soul there. There was nobody there. There was no one. There was no human. Or you say, after the war, there was no soul. There was no soul in that village. It means that there was no human. All humans had been wiped out or had moved away, had escaped the war, for example. And yeah, this is a bad example anyway, but it brings us to the end of today's discussion. And we hope and pray that there should be no wars so that people should not move around, or that people's villages and communities should not be emptied of people. So let's end up with this kind of positive note. And thank you for having listened, for having watched this video. And please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscribe button below and also hit on the notifications, because as I promised you, I will be bringing to you more and more of these videos on English language, but other issues, as you will see in the videos I already have, particularly issues related to scholarships, studying abroad, culture, and giving a positive image, or portraying and projecting the positive image of Africa. Thank you, and see you again next week.